Hi everyone! So today I'll be reading again a chapter out of Who Was Anne Frank? And I believe it's the last chapter. Let me check. Yes, it is the last chapter. So let's get to it. Chapter 9, One Dream Comes True. Of the 8 people in the annex, only Otto Frank survived the war. Isn't that kind of crazy? Thinking about only one person out of 8 of them survived. You know, they were in the concentration camps and dealing with the Nazis, and it's crazy just to think about that. He returned to Amsterdam, hoping for a family reunion. Instead, he learned that his wife and daughters were gone. All that was left was the diary and photographs that Miep had saved. Otto knew that Anne had kept a diary, but he had no idea how much she had written, or how beautiful her words were. Otto typed up many pages for his mother and friends to read. Everyone urged him to show Anne's diary to publishers. The world needed to hear from this remarkable young girl. In the summer of 1947, Anne's dream came true. Her diary became a book. She was a published author. First it was called The Secret Annex. Then later the title changed to Anne Frank, Diary of a Young Girl. I'll have to get that so I can read it to you guys. Oh, there's Otto, and then there's the typewriter. Hitler had murdered 6 million Jews. That is a fact, a horrible fact, and yet it is almost impossible to understand. Reading about the life of one young girl who died because of Hitler is easier to understand. Anne's diary made a huge, terrible event personal. Here was a girl with hopes and dreams. All she wanted was a chance to live her life. In the years that followed, Anne's diary became world famous. It has been translated into more than 65 languages. Otto Frank was 91 when he died in 1980. He spent those long years keeping alive the memory of Anne and his family. He did a very good job. In 1960, the secret annex was opened to the public. Every year, nearly 1 million visitors come. The furniture is gone, but Anne's photos of movie stars are still on the wall, and visitors see where 8 people fought to hold on to their lives in the only way they could, by hiding. And that is the place that this isn't, but the annex that they keep talking about is where I actually got to visit. I was one of those 1 million people that visit there. And I highly recommend for people to visit there. The last words in this book about Anne belong to Anne herself. In her diary, she wrote, "In spite of everything, I still believe that people are really good at art." So that's the end of the chapter. Now I got a timeline here for you, which is kind of cool that they put this in this book. So the timeline of Anne Frank's life. 1929, Anne Frank is born on June 12th in Frankfurt, Maine, Germany. 1933, Edith and Margot Frank moved to the Netherlands. 1934, Anne and her father joined the rest of the family in Amsterdam. 1941, Anne and Margot attend the Jewish school in Amsterdam. 1942, on June 12th, Anne receives a diary for her 13th birthday. On July 6th, the Frank goes into hiding in the secret annex. 1944, in August, the residents of the secret annex are arrested and sent to the concentration camps. 1945, Edith Frank dies on January 26th. Anne and Margot die from typhus in March. Otto Frank returns to Amsterdam on June 3rd. 1,500 copies of Anne's diary are published in Amsterdam. 1947, Anne's diary is translated into English. 1951, a play based on Anne Frank, Diary of a Young Girl, opens on Broadway. 1960, the secret annex is open to the public. 1918, this is the timeline of the world. That was the timeline of the Anne Frank's life. Okay, now of the world. 1918, World War I ends. 1923, the Nazi Party has its first rally in Munich, Germany. 1927, The Jazz Singer, the first talking movie, opens. The New York stock market crashes, setting off the Great Depression. That's in 1927. 1933, Hitler is appointed Chancellor of Germany. Jewish businesses are boycotted. The Gestapo, or the secret police, is formed. 1936, the Olympic Games are held in Berlin, Germany. Diana Durbin stars in The Three Smart Girls. 1937, Franklin D. Roosevelt begins his second term as U.S. President. 1939, Hitler invades Poland and World War II begins. Do you remember what happened in Poland? That is where some of the concentration camps were. 1941, the Japanese bomb Pearl Harbor and the U.S. enters World War II. 1943, Sophie Scholl of the White Rose is executed. 1945, Hitler kills himself inside a secret bunker. Germany surrenders and World War II ends. 1952, Princess Elizabeth becomes Elizabeth II, Queen of England. And to this day, she is still the Queen of England. 1956, Elvis Presley appears on The Ed Sullivan Show. 1960, John F. Kennedy is elected U.S. President. So I do, this is the, I should have showed you those timelines because they're kind of cool looking. Isn't that neat? I just think it's neat. And then here's the last page. Doesn't have anything on there, but so that will be the end of Who Was Anne Frank, and I will find my next book and start it up. All right, have a good day.